Okay, this live stream is getting up and going. I'm going to share my screen again. And here we go. Okay, one more time. Everything's just moving real slow. Here we go. I'll talk fast to make up for lost time. So, welcome to a very special graduation night. We're here to celebrate our uh, uh, daytime August and our after hours April cohorts. A little bit of a tongue twister there. Both of these groups have spent there's an alternate me talking in the background. These groups have spent the last 3 to 6 months with us earning their full stack certificates in either C# or JavaScript or C# and Java or data analytics and engineering with Python. So we have a lot of different graduates with a lot of different knowledge graduating tonight. Um, We've got a lot to get through, so I'm going to dig right in. Here is our run of show. First up on the docket, we will hear some love from the community. We've got a house full of Grand Circus friends and family who are here to wish you well as you embark on these exciting new paths in your life. We will hand things over to our instructors after that, where they're going to give out superlative awards based on your performance in class. They've all chosen some awards for you tonight. And then after that, the grand finale is our final project demos. So if you are in the audience or if you don't know much about final project demos, it's really a feat that these students accomplished. They are given a couple weeks really to pitch a project and build an app all on their own, collaboratively with their fellow students. And what you're going to see tonight are these apps in action. And we have 10 groups across all of those classes tonight. So you are in for a treat. There's lots of fun stuff to see. I guarantee you will be impressed. So I will stop talking now and I will hand it over to someone else. Let me introduce Grand Circus's Director of Learning, Brian Benham, who would like to say a few words to our graduating class.
Hello, everybody, and let me be among the first to say congratulations. We'll have a lot of rounds of applause in a moment, but it's days like this that make everybody here at Grand Circus really happy because not only have you gone through struggles, we've been here to support you, we've been trying to help you, and we were so happy to see you make it all the way to the end to your final graduation, and then of course beyond. So I think when you are kind of absorbing tonight or presenting tonight, I want you to take stock of where you've been. So imagine everything you've gone through in the last 3 or 6 months. And I'm pretty sure I was here when you're at orientation. And my one piece of advice was to embrace the struggle. Make sure you understand that the struggle is part of the learning process. And you've made it through this great struggle. It's never a straight line from point A to point B. It's always a wiggly line, ups and downs and everything. But I want you to appreciate everything you've gone through to get to this point and acknowledge that you have achieved something significant. You walked in with probably little or no knowledge of coding, and you're now walking out as an entry-level full stack developer or analyst and engineer walking out the door, which is quite an accomplishment in such a short period of time. This is in an area of technology that we know is always going to grow. So a quick congratulations for everybody. I think let's acknowledge the achievements that everybody's made. And I'd also like to have a thank you for all the instructional team because they've been with you day in and day out, every hour of every class, helping you throughout. So by name, I'd like to recognize Jonathan and Michael. Thank you so much for the work you do. You guys make everything possible here at Grand Circus. Eric and Brent, also, thank you again. You make it possible for our students to advance. And I believe Andrea is here, right? And James, who stepped in for the last few weeks of the course. Thank you so much. You guys have done a wonderful job with the group. And Justin and Ethan, also
Woo woo.
contributors. So I want to thank you all for what you've done for Grand Circus in this last 3 to 6 months. The students appreciate you. So let's round of applause for the instructional teams. All right. So again, congratulations. Just remember, it doesn't quite end here, but I want you to enjoy your time because you're always going to keep learning. You're always going to need to keep developing. And as always, we will be here for you, largely through career services. And I think that's Elizabeth is going to speak next, congratulating you and talking a little bit about what you can expect after the ceremony. So Elizabeth?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Eaton. I am the Director of Career Services and Alumni Relations here at Grand Circus. I know half of you. I don't know the other half of you because I was gone during your cohort. But Laura and Shauna both kept me up to date on what was going on. And on behalf of the Career Services team, I just want to let you know that we are all incredibly proud of all of the work that you have done from day one until the day of graduation. Life does not stop now after graduation for career services. You kind of put down the learning one and you pick up at the career services tools that Laura and Shauna have taught you over the last 6 or 3 months of boot camp that you've been here. Finding a job is a full-time job. That's kind of what we live and breathe here for. And we want to make sure that we are here to support you in every way possible. So between Shauna and myself, we will be making sure that you all have a career service support specialist to work with. And make sure that we're here for you to help you throughout your journey. That could be, hey, I need a quick mock interview prep, or hey, can you take a look at my LinkedIn? Anything like that, we will be here for you to bounce ideas off of and things like that. We are also going to be adding you to our alumni network later this evening. So you'll be added to a new Slack channel, which is our GC alumni channel. And we'll go into that in a little bit more detail later. But that channel is there for you to utilize as you are now an alumni. There'll be a post in there. Drop your LinkedIn, connect with people. You definitely will have the ability to grow your network very quickly after you're added to that Grand Circus alumni channel, because all the alumni will post their LinkedIns as well. And throughout your journey, we will be here for you for whatever you need. Have that be your first job, second job, or promotion. So I will go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to Laura and then Shauna.
All right. Hi, everyone. Just wanted to give a quick congratulations. I know I've obviously worked really closely with the daytime group, but congratulations to everybody here. I know this is a real grind, a real hustle. I can definitely speak for my group, but I'm sure everybody has been through the ringer between floods, other natural disasters, medical, family emergencies. I mean, there's been a lot coming at you during these last 3 to 6 months, but y'all are here. You made it. That's incredible. So truly just wanted to say a quick congratulations. Looking forward to staying in touch on LinkedIn, and I will pass it over to Shauna to talk about masterminds.
Thank you, Laura. I am echoing everyone's congratulations. You did it. Yay! But like Elizabeth said, we are here to help you after graduation. And one of the things that we do to help support you is we have these wonderful things called mastermind groups. This is not continuous me talking to you all after graduation and giving you guys more slides and slide decks and all that. No, this is more of a support group, ways for you guys to come together as job seekers and hold each other accountable, network with each other, share resources, really kind of be each other's support system. And so we are putting together one mastermind group starting November 5th. We're going to do it during the lunchtime hour. So if you are interested in spending an hour with me for about 4 weeks, I definitely encourage you to send me a Slack. I will be posting reminders for signups in the alumni channel in a couple of days, but this is definitely one opportunity that I definitely always encourage alumni to take advantage of because it's a really great way to network. And as you know from my conversations with you all, networking is definitely key. So I look forward to working with you all soon. And I am actually going to turn it over to our alumni guest. I know my group has had the opportunity to get to know Brian a little bit, but Brian is one of our alums. He graduated in April 2023. He is a full stack JavaScript bootcamp grad. He is currently working as a data analyst at a toilet store, and I will let him continue introducing him because I know he has some wonderful things to share with you all. Brian?
Yeah, congrats everyone. My name is Brian Leithhead, as Shauna so eloquently put it. I do work at a toilet store in downtown Detroit, advanced plumbing. I work on the product data, do a little bit of coding on our website. So, yeah, I'm kind of a bit of a one-stop shop for services as far as IT related at my job. But congrats on making it to the finish line. What you do from here, stay with I guess my first suggestion would be stay in contact with your classmates, see what they're doing. Maybe you can offer suggestions, kind of piggyback off of each other. As Shauna said, definitely do a lot of networking. It's very important. Somebody's going to remember you, and especially in your job hunts, it's going to be very important. So, also, if you have final projects, recruiters like to see that you're still actively working even after boot camps. A lot of hiring managers will check your GitHub, so make sure that's active. One thing you can do is continuously make pushes to your final project. It's probably going to be your best work, maybe current to date. So it also kind of will keep you in a team mindset. So it's something also that hiring managers look for. But as far as after here, I've worked in as a coder and as in data, so I've kind of touched both sides. There's a lot of transferable skills, so if you're not falling in love with software, look at data and vice versa. But there's a lot of opportunity right now, for especially locally for tech. So go to all the meetups. I think it's called meetup.com. There's an infinite number of resources out there that are kind of fly under the radar. Literally just Google IT jobs near me, and that's how I found my current job. So get creative, but at the end of the day, you too can also have the championship belt that I bought for myself. But you know what? I hang it above my wall. As cheesy it is, it makes me feel like I'm a champion every day. So do that. And to kind of piggyback on what Ric Flair said, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and baby, I am the man. So uh, take that with into your job hunt. Keep that confidence high. You're gonna need it in your interviews. And then that's kind of like my personality in a nutshell. So I'll kind of turn it over to whoever's next, but just always remember, the cream of the crop will rise to the top.
Brian, thank you so much. Dropping the wisdom and the dad jokes. I love it. I hope to one day make it down to your toilet store.
Let me know.
Feel free to hang around for final projects, or I know you're a busy man, but thank you so much for speaking to this group here. What do we got up next here? Okay, our paper plate awards. Students, these are superlative awards that your instructors have chosen for you. We put our daytime C# instructors up first. Justin, Ethan, are you ready?
Yep, I am ready. All right. So congratulations to my class. We got first up is D'Angelo, who we got as the code composer. Next up, we have David B as the Atlas Award. Next, we have Afseen as the AI expert. Then we have Ren, who will code the Galaxy Sword into reality. Then we have Joey, the blood sugar debugger. Then we have Brady, the knock knock who's there. Then we have Alan, the Hokage of code. Then we have David G, the Outcoding the Tutor Award. Then we have Martina, most likely to make a mukbang at.
You guys, I had to Google it. It's safe for work. Don't worry. It's not. Let's give a round of applause for our daytime C# class. Thank you, Justin and Ethan. Okay, I kept Andrea on here because I knew she'd be in the house tonight, but I think we're gonna give James the floor for these awards tonight. You ready, James?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Ray gets the Out of Their Shell award. Next up, David gets the Silent Code Slayer. Lisa gets the Code Genist. And Sarah, the Rubber Duck Award.
That's for being in a hurricane. We probably got several of those we could give out tonight. Okay, let's give a round of applause for our JavaScript class. That's a tiny little class there. Okay, next up, we got our after hours JavaScript class. I think we got AJ presenting tonight.
Yep. Good evening. I'm ready.
Okay.
Scheherazade Shea Thomas gets the biggest go-getter award. Tyler Hazard awarded for most independent. And finally, last but not least, Jordan Matz, we give you the most resilient award. Congratulations, everybody.
Thanks, AJ. Another small and mighty class there. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, next up, who we got? Okay, after hours, C#, Jonathan and Michael. Are you all ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Right, so Corin gets the CSS Champion Award because she rocks at CSS. Okay, Adam gets the Hustles Harder Award because he did boot camp with a toddler. So the man hustles harder. Okay, Jan gets the Silent Code Slayer for basically being unassuming but really, really competent. Okay, Alex gets the best attitude because he is always bright and optimistic and cheery. Okay, Freddie gets the most professional. Okay, Jasmine gets the Spaghetti Heart Award. Rob gets the just freaking talented and smart because that's what I came up with. And Zuhair gets the most likely to add a letter to FANG. So if we don't like the FANG acronym, I'm sure Zuhair will fix it.
Thanks, Jonathan. Let's have a round of applause for After Hours C#. Okay, we got one left. Eric and Brent from After Hours Data Pie. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, Matthew gets the Undying Determination Award. Brian, Striving for the Highest Quality Award. Emily, Challenge Rusher Award. Gabriel, Emulator of Excellence Award. Devin, Above and Beyond Award.
Hey, congratulations, everybody in that Data Pie class. Thank you, instructors. What's next? Oh, congratulations, you made it, everyone. Let's give a round of applause to everybody. We can unmute our mics and make some noise.
Yay!
Good job, everyone.
Congrats!
Great job, everybody.
Congratulations.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
Good job, everybody.
I know you didn't come here for a paper plate award. Well, we've been celebrating. All of your certificates have been emailed to you. So check your inboxes, graduates. If there's any typos or if your name is incorrect, let me know and I'll get that fixed for you as soon as possible. But you have crossed the stage here. You've got your certificates. You're now graduates. But now, the reason we're all here, we have some demos. I will stop my screen share here and we will turn the floor over to our students. I determined an order earlier. I hope everyone is okay with that order. I tried to mix things up between languages, between cohorts. So hopefully everyone likes their spot in the lineup. So we got O and Corey moderating. So if you run long or if you need to be yanked off stage, please, no offense, we're just trying to keep the evening moving. So with that, who's our first group?
Our first group will be Jordan, Tyler, and Shay from After Hours April JavaScript.
Not I'm nervous. Hey, everybody. All right. I'm ready. Y'all ready? Tyler, Jordan?
Yep.
Woo. Okay. So I'll kick it off with I'm Shaharazan Thomas. I go by Shay. And my teammates, of course, Tyler and Jordan. We went ahead and created a Bite Finder app, which is a recipe app where you can search for recipes here. So here we go. We want to introduce you to our Bite Finder app. It is the ultimate recipe finder app that takes the guesswork out of cooking. We all know the frustration of staring at the ingredients in our fridge, not knowing what to make, or spending hours scrolling through recipes online that just don't fit our needs. So whether you're a busy professional, a parent juggling schedules, or simply someone who loves to experiment in the kitchen, finding the right recipe quickly can be a challenge. Did anybody want to, or y'all want me to just go all the way for it? Okay, so what Tyler is showing right now is here you can search for recipes from our Spoonacular API. So you can choose from thousands of recipes. You can put in whatever you like, an ingredient or an actual dish, and search it. We do have a little kinks that we needed to straighten out, so it may not work all the way, but that's okay. And you can also add your own recipes if you sign in as a user. So you see Tyler here he's adding a recipe name. And we also have a favorite feature, so you can save it to your favorites. All right. Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate that.
No worries.
That's all we got for
No,
them.
share some of the code with everybody. So we got some of the front end stuff. Some of the front end is actually, it appears to not be working, so I'm not sure what's up with that. But we've got our components up here. We've got some services down here. Over here, we got our controllers, which are doing all the back-end stuff, which is mostly grabbing those recipes you can see on the website and just putting everything together.
Thank you.
Q&A. We got any questions?
Do we have questions for our first group?
What was your favorite part of this project?
My favorite part, I would say, would be the errors and learning from the errors that we made, because I feel like we did a lot of things that we learned in the boot camp, but we also learned. I feel like I learned a lot just by doing this final project itself. So that was my favorite part, and then of course working with my two teammates. That was really cool to team up with them. So that was it for me.
Awesome, awesome. All right, thank you very much. Let's give this group a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right. So
I'm about
moving
to go
forward.
cry now.
Don't cry. You're fine. You did great. Moving forward, we want to throw all of our questions in the chat. That way we can go ahead and have that conversation and networking in the chat, and we can make sure that we get everyone along, because everyone has such beautiful projects that we want everyone to see on time. So up next, we have David, Alan, and Brady from Daytime August, C# and Java. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Sure thing. So I am David Braymeyer.
And I'm Alan.
And I'm Brady. This is our video game backlog tracker. It's made for gamers who accumulate a large backlog of various games they want to play. And it includes community features such as XP and levels you get for completing games to compare with your friends.
Yeah, so I'm going to log in here, use this Google login. So this is just the general home screen here. It's a good way to kind of just see popular games by just in general popular games and by console. So from here, you can kind of see a list of games, maybe some suggestions for stuff that you want to add to your backlog. But if you're not sure, you can, of course, just click on the game here, get all of the information that you need, even a trailer here that you can play. And, you know, if the trailer doesn't sell you, we got plenty more trailers that you can pull up here. They just take a sec to load, especially because there's like 8 of them. But because there is 8 of them and I want to get them off the screen, you just put them away, continue on here. And if you were sold on that information, you can just add it straight to your backlog here. Or you can continue on here to the similar games and see if one of these might be more your pace. I, for instance, really like this game, Bloodborne. I am sold on it, so I want to add it to my backlog. And after doing that, as you can see here, it is at the top of my list here. I have actually already completed this game, so I'm just going to update that. Took me about 100 hours to play this one. I'll submit that update. As you can see, it's not on my backlog anymore. That's because this is my current backlog of games that I am trying to play. If you want to just view your completed games, you can do that. Bloodborne is now here as completed. And yeah, if you really just want to focus on the games that are in progress and on your current backlog right now, you can do that. This is a good way to kind of organize it and say, you know, I wanted to visualize this and I wanted to really put Super Mario Galaxy 2 as a priority. I just move that up here. And now Super Mario Galaxy 2 is visually up here at the top of my list. And yeah, it's a really good way to kind of just organize things here. If you say I wanted to do that, you can see that just fine. And yeah, this is a good way to kind of view the games that you know you want, but in case you wanted to search for something in specific, we have that option for you as well. And Alan's going to tell you all about that.
Yeah, so this is our search feature. The API we used has a lot of endpoints that holds a lot of parameters. So you were able to go crazy with the search parameters, as you can see. We were able to have like a loose search. So you don't have to exactly type, it doesn't have to match casing. And it doesn't have to be like word for word, the exact game you're looking for. Or for example, for genre, our API stores RPGs as role-playing and RPG. Like this is how it is saved. But if you just type in RPG, it still pulls it up. So yeah, it's really useful in terms of finding like an exact game that you're looking for. So yeah, you can, for example, see Mario's games on the Switch. And if you wanted to say see games that only came out in 2023, you can add that to the release year too. And yeah, it'll show you Mario games that came out in 2023. Real quick, I wanted to also add that David B moving his backlog of games around wasn't like just a visual thing. It actually updates it. So if he goes back to his backlog page, and shows, yeah, the list still saves because we keep it so that when you move it, it actually updates the database on where you have it in your list. So yeah, and going on to the community page. So this was like our main incentive for the app, essentially, to like motivate users to want to complete their games, was when you complete a game, we set up like a formula where it calculates like an experience essentially, based off of the like a flat rate and then the genre of the game. So games genres that normally take longer, like RPGs, for example, they get more experience points for that. And we also use the playtime as well in our calculations, both from the API and from what you set when you write it in your backlog. So yeah, this has a list of top players, and then you can view each player's profile. But if there's someone specifically that you're looking for, you can scroll down to the bottom, and we have a search for user here. So, if you want to look for, say, Ethan, for example, you can press search and he'll pop up, and David will try to add Ethan to his friends list.
Yeah, let's do that. So as you can see, now I am a friend of Ethan's. If I click on my profile here, Ethan is also my friend. And one thing that's neat about this too is that you can also view your friend's backlog and see you know, what games they have been have completed, what games they are currently working on. And yeah, you can get a sense for where they're at and you know, why they are earning so many points. But yeah, that is our app. Thank you for your interest in this. We look forward to gaming with you all. Thank you.
Woo! Great job. That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you very much. Let's give this group a round of applause. Corey?
Next group is from our After Hours C Sharp. We have Rob and Zuhair.
Hello, hello, friends. I will
Hello.
kick things off. So hi, my name's Rob, and with me I have Zuhair, and we made Whodis. Whodis is a social deduction messaging app where you try to guess who you've been grouped with. It's all kind of designed around fitting into a busy lifestyle to be a little bit asynchronous, while also testing how well you actually know your friends. It's a chance where you get to learn more about everyone you kind of chosen to connect with, and we're going to walk you through the beginning of like what you would see as a user. So getting started, if you haven't made an account, you would have to make one, but I already have one, so we're going to log in. And to begin with, you're presented with what groups you are a part of. For example, I'm part of a high school group and a work group, but if I wanted to make a new one, I can title it and group up with all the graduates, and then we can find a whole bunch of people on here. Like if I wanted to add Zuhair, I can find him, and then we can just add in some other people here as well. All of our extra users have a bit of a theme, if you've noticed. Once we've added everyone that we want, let's say we wanted to get rid of someone, you know, we could drop someone, but can't have too few people or else the game isn't fun. So we're going to add back one more person. Once we make it, you'll see it pops right up and you could go into it and start all of the chat features. But because it's a brand new group and it's a whole bunch of random people, it won't actually work yet. So instead, we're going to pop over into the work group. And I'm going to turn it over to Zuhair to walk us through these pages.
Yeah, so this is the chat page that you're looking at. So on the left side, you have a little sidebar. And basically, the first button is to go back to your home groups. The next one is to see all the members in your group. So you can see who you are in that list. And then the person with the star is the admin. So in this case, Rob is both the current user and the admin. And the admin of the group has the power to start a new chat round. So what this button does is basically the backend will take all the users in the group and it'll mix them up and put them in separate chat rooms. So it'll look something like one of the chats you see below. And when Rob creates one, you'll see there's a whole bunch of people in that chat, right? So this chat has 5 people, including you, and those names are also generated from the backend through an API where we just combine, you know, adjectives and nouns together to make a name. So yeah, so you can go ahead and click on any of these chats. And what you'll see is basically you just have a live chatting service here. And at the top, you'll see there's the people in your chat. Those are the pseudonyms, so you don't know who their actual usernames are. And then you'll see a little timer too at the top. So that's basically how much time you have left to chat with this specific group and to figure them out. So you can also go ahead and send a message there, Rob. I'm going to send one back to Rob. So hello from Zuhair. And you should see it populate on Rob's screen in a little bit. But yeah, so we use SignalR for the backend and the front end to do that live chatting. So yeah, and then on the chat page at the top right, you'll see a little mask icon. So what this does is you can see all the people in your group again, and there's a guessing functionality here. So if you click on that, you can basically place your bets on who you think who's who. So at the top, you'll see the people in your group, and the bottom is all the group members. So you can take a guess on who you think it is, but you won't know until the chat is complete. So once you save your guess, it gets updated in the back end. And yeah, and Rob can show you an example of what a chat that's closed looks like. So this chat ended a while ago, and you'll see basically all the members and then who their actual identities were, along with the guesses you took. And you'll see if you guessed the person right or not. So, yeah.
Yeah, this was a really fun stretch for us. We implemented we had a lot of ideas to kick off and had to cut back quite a bit, but ended up still implementing a lot of the features, and we're definitely going to continue working on this after graduation. One minor feature that we also added that we didn't have a demonstration of right away is that all messages are filtered. We do send it through a third-party API to filter everything, so it's a moderated chat. You're not able to just send whatever you want, but have plans for many more features. So thank you guys very much, and any questions that you have, please throw it in the chat.
Woo. Let's give this group a round of applause. Very impressive. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Our next group is Brian and Devin from the After Hours April Data Pi class. Whenever you're ready, please take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone. I had the pleasure of working with Devin for our final project. I wish ours was exciting as everybody else's, but you'll get a taste of the world of data. So our project is titled We Didn't Start the Fire, which is analysis of California fires and weather from the past 30 years. Kicking off with a little quote here from the boss, you can't start a fire without a spark, which leads kind of into our objective for our project, which was to analyze fire weather data to uncover trends in California wildfires, to kind of find out what those variables and relationships to wildfires were, and to see if we could create predictive models. Moving on, these were our data sources. So we had a source here from the federal government, federal, state, local fire organizations that basically had different fire data in terms of size, where it happened, when it happened, things of that nature. And then we also used an API to get historical weather data, things like temperatures, precipitation, wind speed, and the like. And I'm going to pass this over to Devin to start talking about our data pipeline.
Awesome. Yeah, so in this project, we developed a data pipeline to analyze our data. The process involved extracting data from a CSV file, then performing exploratory data analysis to clean and understand the data, integrating weather data through API calls and transforming the results. And then we merged the API data with the original data set and loaded the final data set into a Postgres database for further analysis. So starting off with our data extraction, we turned our CSV data into a pandas data frame and then verified our results here. We then started some of our EDA to understand the data. We looked at several questions. First, the overall size of the data using .shape. We looked at if we had any null values or missing data, which we had quite a bit. We are looking at our columns and their data types. And then we were looking at the total number of fires for California. Our original data set involved several other states, but we wanted to just cut it down to California alone. Continuing on, to start cleaning our data, we got rid of a lot of our columns with missing values. A lot of these columns we just didn't really deem necessary for the analysis. We then wanted to return only California fires, like I said before. We had a lot of data, but California by far had the largest number of fires. We then fixed our data types for use in later analysis, primarily just our date columns using date time. We then renamed all of our columns for better readability. And then we limited our fires to just those that were 100 acres or greater. This is primarily because our API calls were limited, and we just wanted to look at the more impactful fires.
Cool. So I'm going to go over a bit of our API data and how we got this. So this was the function to get back one piece of data from our API. And on the right is the raw data that we got back in JSON format. So you can see a bunch of temperature data, wind data, precipitation, etc. But we needed a lot more. So we took that function, then iterated through all of our data frames, made API calls for each row of the data frame, transformed all of those separate individual pieces of information that you saw, such as temperatures, into averages, and then put it all into a new data frame. When we did that, it started to look like this to have actually useful data. So now that we had all this data from both fire and weather, we started some analysis. And we started that in Power BI. So we created a dashboard that gave us some information about fire, weather, different variables. On the top, you can see a aggregation of all the weather variables, and on the left is some different filters that can be used. One of the cool things we saw right off the bat was that human-caused fires are on a decrease, which is awesome news. But when we break it down to natural large fires, things maybe not so great. You can see down on the bottom right again, total fires, while it's not significant, it is still on the rise. And we think that this could be because of climate change and the fact that we are getting much longer summers with less precipitation. Comparing some of those values that we saw with other times of the year, such as January, for example, we see that there are actually no natural fires that occurred during that time at all. So really higher temperatures, low precipitation equals big fires. I'm going to pass it back over to Devin to go through some more visualizations and analysis.
Yes, so for these visualizations, we use Matplotlib and Seaborn. This analysis focuses on the count of fire incidents throughout the year. We used a bar plot to explore how the fire occurrences vary by month. You can see a clear trend of increased fire activity during the summer months, suggesting a potential link to seasonal factors like higher temps, drier conditions, stuff like that. Moving on, we're looking at the distribution of fire sizes in acres burned. You can see from 2018 on, it's appeared with more extreme fire sizes compared to the previous 25 years combined, which had much smaller fire sizes. So this really just shows us that wildfires have become much larger in scale over time. And then for our final visualization, we're showing here interactive map using Plotly. This kind of breaks down the different fire causes, which you can see they're a lot more specific, but it was kind of a cool map to include. And so finally, we wanted to create a predictive model to classify the causes of fires as either human-caused or natural. We used a support vector machine to do this and evaluated the model's performance by calculating F1 scores over 50 iterations. I think it's important to note that the initial model trained on imbalanced data. We had a lot fewer natural cause samples compared to the human-caused ones. But the model ran for 50 iterations, changing the trained test split each time. We used default parameters here and then appended F1 scores for each class, the human and the natural, to lists, and found averages as well as standard deviations. The F1 score helped us to measure the performance in each of our classes, especially because we were dealing with imbalanced data, and this ensured that we weren't misled by accuracy. And then the standard deviation just showed us how consistent the model's predictions were across different trials. So looking at our results on the left, the model performed well in predicting human cause events, but was highly ineffective in predicting natural cause events. And we thought this was due primarily to the imbalance in the data set. So to improve our model, we wanted to apply a technique called SMOTE, which stands for Synthetic Minority Oversampling Technique. It basically generates synthetic data for the minority class. In our case, it was the natural caused fires for the model to train on. The methodology was pretty much the same. 50 iterations of trained test splits were performed, and then SMOTE was applied again to balance the classes. So looking at our results with SMOTE, the model became much better at predicting natural cause fires, but still lagging behind the human cause predictions by quite a bit. So finally, to improve our model once more, we used randomized search CV to search for the best type parameters across 50 iterations with 5-fold cross-validation, which that basically just splits the data into 5 subsets, trains the model on 4, and tests on 1, repeating the process for all the splits. A more sophisticated approach would be to use a larger CV value of at least 20, but we were limited by time, so we stuck with 5. Then our final results, the model showed an overall improvement in predicting both human-caused and natural-caused events, showing that the parameter tuning and the SMOTEs led to more accurate predictions. And then we included a visual here to portray our improvements throughout the different models. To finish us off, a few key points. I'll try to keep them quick. Through this project, we found that finding patterns or key factors in the origin of naturally occurring wildfires is very difficult, especially with historical weather data alone. In the real world, we have made significant strides in predicting wildfire risks. Sophisticated models can often forecast high-risk periods based on many different factors, making fire prediction better than ever before, but there are still limitations and gaps. Unpredictable elements still remain, so while conditions may indicate a higher wildfire risk, they certainly don't guarantee one will occur. Our data shows that climate change is worsening wildfire spread with raising temperatures, extended droughts, highlighting the need for better predictive models going forward. But on a positive note, since 1992, public awareness campaigns have reduced human-caused fires, proving the value of education and prevention strategies. And finally, to close the remaining gaps in prediction models, more granular data is definitely essential. This could be vegetation density data, human activity patterns, land use, real-time weather conditions could all significantly improve accuracy and prediction metrics. But we didn't have access to such data. But I think it's important that prediction models are ever changing in our world today. But yeah, that concludes our presentation. So feel free to ask any questions.
Woo! Let's give this group a round of applause. That was very interesting. All right. Corey?
So let me look at my list. Okay. Our next group is After Hours, C#, and we have Corinne, Adam, and Jasmine. And please, if I said, is it Corinne or Corinne?
Corinne, you got it right. Thank you.
No problem.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine Boykins, and I am a part of the group Kai Blog. So pretty much we came up with a blog website which allows the user to create a blog, and it shows their list of blogs as well as their favorites once they favorited the blog itself. And we also utilize Giphy as a third-party API. So once the user has the ability to search for their GIF, they can it also post along with the actual form. As you see here, we have different categories so that you could actually enter. You have the subject line, you have the blog body, and you can search for the GIF actually in those fields. And also, I would like to point out that we have 2 different tokens. So you have the front end token and then you have the back end token. So if you click the login button, you'll notice that it's prompting you to sign in with Google. And once you're signed in, you'll be able to see your content generated. So if you scroll down a little bit down the screen, you can see all of the blogs that you've previously created. And you also have the ability to favorite either of those as well. So if you actually go to the favorites tab, you will notice that those favorites are there, listed there. So yeah, and if you want to create a blog, you can actually click on the button to create a blog, and or you can actually go back to the home screen and it's there, and you can fill out the blog, and once that information is filled, it's submitted, and on submit, you'll see that particular blog listed below. Also, I would like to cover the simple fact that we have Angular. This is presented in Angular as the front end. So this is all the cool stuff that you see, the final product, but we will elaborate furthermore about the back end and the front end functionality more in depth as we go along. I would like to pass the mic to Corinne. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jasmine. So this is our blog. I did a lot of the front end. I did a lot of the components and all of that fun stuff. It took a while to get the whole color scheme and everything together. It was a struggle trying to figure out how to space everything correctly so everything wasn't smushed together. I'd like to also point out on the far right, our scroll bar, we ended up using I ended up finding a WebKit from a previous project I did a couple years ago to do a linear gradient with the color scheme incorporated within our blog. We worked very well together with figuring out how to make all the buttons work and actually talk to each other in order to do everything completely. We are able to post, favorite, and continue as you see all of this. Anytime you type in anything within the Jiffy component for a search, no matter what it is, it comes up because we're using API for that. So it's not something we pre-populated. It was within the API itself. Boom. But yeah, so that's about all I got. So I'm going to pass it on to Adam.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll go ahead and give a live demo. So right now, the spirit of KaiBlog extends from the idea of LiveJournal. It's more of like Twitter and LiveJournal combined, so that you have record of whatever you're working on. It could be tech related, it could be entertainment related, it could be whatever you want to make it. So we left it completely open-ended. So let's go ahead and create a blog. So this will be a category of achievements. We will do graduation demo as the subject line. I am currently demoing our graduation, or we'll do final project. The cool thing about the Jiffy API is you're allowed to do two different searches. The first one is going to be a trending search, which will demonstrate the top 10 GIFs at the time. So currently around the world globally, these are the 4 top GIFs being used. But of course, you can control that with the search feature. So if we did something graduation related, it's going to return the top 8 GIFs currently being used when you search for graduation. So we'll currently fill it out. I'll select this one. It'll preview. I'll submit. We'll go to our blogs, and it's going to ping the back end to allow us to do and save our blogs. I'm particularly happy with this website, so I'm going to favorite this, and we're going to be able to go ahead and reference this in the future so that we can recollect on our time with Grand Circus. So that is KaiBlog. I do not know if there's any questions at this time because I did not check the chat.
I would like to add just real quick, we had a bunch of different topics of what we were going to do. We ended up on a blog topic because we all did a bunch of different research, and Adam came up with the name because it's all of our first initials. It's Corinne, Adam, and Jasmine, hence the KAJ, KaiBlog, and yeah.
That's about it.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much. Let's give this group a round of applause. And remember, if you have any questions, please make sure you drop them in the chat. And to ruffle a few feathers, how many people pronounce it as GIF? No? Okay.
I do. I'm gonna ruffle a feather. I pronounce it
You're
as
gonna
GIF.
start talking about spaces and tabs next, man.
It
Come
took me a
on.
while to say GIF.
Oh man.
So yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I
Cool,
was I
cool.
was I
Thank you
was
very
there for
much.
something.
So, group 6, we have from the daytime August C#/Java class, D'Angelo, Afseen, and David. Whenever you're ready, please take it away.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm David Goodwin, and I'm joined here with my teammates Afseen Salam and D'Angelo Robinson. We go by Team ADD, and presenting today, we have for you a website/web application called We Give. We deuce, we use, we cycle. And I'm going to give it off to D'Angelo to kind of walk you through it.
Yes, We Give is a platform designed to help families. Okay, I thought I was on mute. My bad. We Give is a platform designed to help families give and receive baby essentials like strollers, cribs, car seats, clothes, and more, all for free. We know how expensive it can be to raise a child, and We Give provides a solution by connecting parents to share gently used baby items, making it easier to afford raising our little ones. After all, it takes a village to raise a child. But We Give isn't just about sharing baby gear, it's about building a community. With our chat group feature, parents can connect with others online to exchange advice, parenting tips, or simply vent about the ups and downs of family life. We Give is there to support you no matter where you are in your parenting journey. In addition to helping families save, We Give plays a crucial role in reducing waste. Instead of tossing out old baby items, you're passing them on to a family in need, giving these items a second life and keeping them out of landfills. Join We Give today, and let's build a more sustainable, supportive community for all our families. Now I'm going to pass it off to Afseen to give us a tour of the website.
Hi. In this We Give website, we can basically see our donated list of items without logging the website. So if we really interested and if you want to contact the person, we can just sign in using a Google. We use the Google sign in there. And after sign in, you can also see the donate option. If you want to donate, you can just donate, upload all the things here. Another cool functionality we added is uploading the image here. So we use the third-party API there to upload the image. And if we go back, we can see in the list, you can see the location button. There we use the Google API to see where the item location is there. And we also implemented if the user wants to buy this particular item, they can just contact the user who is the owner of this particular item. They can just click the envelope button. It will automatically redirect to the Gmail to compose a mail to chat with them, and they can proceed with the product. And here we have implemented another cool feature is chat community. We use the WebSocket concept of implementing the signaler. Here for the chat community, you have to enter the name of the item. Here, once you enter your name and the community name, you can see the person who is live in there, and the chat room gives a space there. And here below each message, you can see the sender name, date and time stamps everything over there. And it uses a real-time messaging app. So if you want to make a communication between them, it's really helpful to make a product next level. And once they leave, it is also visible in the chat group. And now I'm passing this to David.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so as you can see, we were able to implement a lot of really cool different features. We also were able to implement a sorting feature so we can look through the items that are posted by most recent or oldest, by condition. We even have an opportunity to take items that are broken in case you're a fixer-upper. And then, I mean, you like fixer-uppers. And then we also have ability to sort by category. But looking forward into the future, there's a lot of other features we wanted to implement. One of them was to create a little tool in the items so that instead of having to go to the chat room and then enter in the item name, you could just click on a button and it'll auto-generate a chat room for you. We wanted to save the chats, but that wasn't something we were able to get to at this point. And then finally, we wanted to have a feature where you could edit. So looking forward, there's a lot of cool opportunities here. But for the meantime, we have a functional web application where you can work together with your community to save your resources and share the love. Because after all, it takes a village to raise a baby. We need all of you. Sign up today.
If you have any questions, just put them in the chat and we can answer them while other people do their presentations. So thanks.
Woo! All right, let's give this group a round of applause. Great job. Great job. Great job. That was amazing.
All right, so we have our next group, group 7. We have Ray, Lisa, David, and Sarah. They're from my daytime JavaScript group.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah, and I got the opportunity to work with Ray, Lisa, and David, and we just completed the JavaScript boot camp. We are excited to introduce to you Unplanned Adventures. It's an app that's designed to encourage spontaneous exploration and to help people get out of the house to discover new activities. The core issue that we are trying to address is the loneliness epidemic and how social isolation is on the rise. Many people want to be more social, but they lack the motivation or they don't know where to start. Maybe they just moved somewhere or they're just tired at the end of the day. They don't want to think about it. So Unplanned Adventures is here to help. Our app provides a personalized adventure suggestions based on your location, your budget, and your activity preferences, and it's all completely unplanned. So you just set that location that you want to play in, you put in your budget, and the app will offer suggestions that fit your lifestyle so that you don't have to do a thing. So no plans, no problem, because the best moments in life are the ones that you don't plan, which is what we did. We created a user-friendly interface that you are currently looking at. We use a soft color palette to keep it relaxing and nature-based. And we added an easy-to-use navigation menu at the top with buttons for home, events, search, and favorites pages. And Lisa is going to explain a little bit more.
Thanks, Sarah. So, one of the best parts of our Unplanned Adventures is that we're offering our real-time, like local events. So what we have in our events page, when you click on the navigation bar, is it's going to show you a list of events that are all near you. Usually when we click on it, it'll pop up like allow or do not allow for your locations. And if you click yes, it will give you anywhere within the range of what state you're in and the nearby states. So Ray is the one who is displaying this at the moment, and he's located in Michigan. So what's popping up on there is everywhere around Michigan and Illinois, even Wisconsin on there. If you decide to actually not want them to track your location, or us, I guess, it would be just like anywhere in the country. So it'd be in the US in general. So these are like just the top ones that pop up. For example, these are in, I believe, Texas and Florida, Arizona. Um, and then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, we do have a next feature. If you keep on going, it'll keep showing you like the next available ones that are on there. Um, and I will now pass it on to Ray to talk about the details and the search parameters for it.
Thank you. So if we decide to click on any of the events like this one where we would like, it will show every relevant information regarding the event, including the start time, start dates, times, and a map for the location where if you do hit the directions, it will go to Google Maps somewhere you would be able to set it. And then from there, if you want the ticket, you just go ahead, click purchase ticket. It will redirect you to Ticketmaster where you can safely purchase your ticket and pick out your seating. And then from here, we go onto our search where this will filter out the events by the name, type, location, and your budget to find the options that are best suitable for your preferences. So for example, we would do something like Harry Potter, and then we'll just do New York here. And it will display all the Harry Potter events that are in New York and further on. And then from here, I will turn it over to David.
Yep. So some functionality that we have are some favorites. Users can favorite or unfavorite, and they can check out the favorite tabs up the top and view some of their favorites. And in order for the favorites to save, users can sign in by clicking the sign in button right there. And their favorites will save within whatever Google account they use to sign in with. So that is all of our functionality, I believe. So we definitely plan on working on this some more. We're researching on some more APIs, more filtering, I guess. But yeah, so Sarah, if you could close us out, that'd be awesome.
All right, guys, so that's Unplanned Adventures. It's an app that simplifies adventure by taking the planning out of it. Check it out and start discovering some spontaneous adventures today. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Let's give this group a round of applause. Amazing job, everyone. I'm gonna need this to plan a date night with my wife. I have the hardest time trying to figure out what to do sometimes. All right. So our next group will be Gabriel, Matthew, and Emily from Data Pie Daytime. Sorry, After Hours. Whenever you're ready, please take it away.
All right, we'll try and keep this quick. Our data project was on gleaning insights for job hunters at the current point, especially in the tech industry. And our team consists, as was stated, of myself, Emily, and Gabriel. So we came up with 3 questions that we wanted to find insights into. How do salaries vary across industries, and what are the trends in computer science careers? How is job growth trending across these different industries? And when we look at unemployment, is now even a good time to job search? Our intended audience is, well, people like us, people who are potential job seekers actively pursuing a career change into a new technical field, as well as anyone who's simply curious about making such a change. We pulled our data from the US Bureau of Labor Statistics data tools. Our first step was to construct the data pipeline and perform some cleaning on the data that we received. As mentioned, our data source was the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, and we used their API to fetch unemployment data and then converted it into a data frame for analysis. However, the API proved awkward and difficult to use, so for the bulk of our data related to income levels across industries, job titles, and states, we downloaded an Excel file from the BLS that contained the information and converted that into a data frame as well. For more details on the API usage, I'll turn it over to Emily now.
All right, so starting with our API data source, first we had to call the BLS API. Each specific data set needs a unique series ID, for example, unemployment data in Michigan. So we had to browse through the entire website in order to find these series IDs. And then once we had them all, we put them in a dictionary that then we could write a program to call. We had to split it into 3 to limiting errors kind of were tripping us up. But before we could do any analysis, we needed to parse the responses. So first we defined a function that initiates a blank data frame as well as lists. And then for loops through that JSON response, grabs that little piece of data we wanted and appends it to the list. We wanted to take all of the months in that data and average them out so we can have one data point for the whole year, an average. Once we were all done with that, we put it in a data frame and we were ready to combine it with additional data. And with that, I'm going to pass it to Gabriel.
As Matthew stated earlier, we also downloaded the Excel file and that contained the bulk of the data we used. We were pulling from 3 years, so we downloaded a separate file for all 3 years. From there, we began exploring the data and identified null values and the various data types. Some data cleaning was required. Most notably, we had to convert the data types from objects to numerical values, update column names from abbreviated versions, and dropped the unnecessary columns. We also excluded regions that were not part of the 50 United States and mapped each of the remaining 50 states to the corresponding geographical region. And then lastly, we also added a column to assign each job title to a job category and calculated the hourly and annual salaries where one of those values was missing. Once the data cleaning was complete, we created a SQL database and imported the data frame into it. That allowed us to read the data into Power BI so we could continue visualizing the data. So this begins the insights and analysis part of our presentation. The first question we wanted to ask was about the salaries varying across industries and what are the trends. So we created this bar graph, which contains a bar for each of the years and compares the average annual salary for each job type. For all 3 of the years we pulled from, the healthcare sector remained at the top of the highest average paying careers. However, computer and mathematical science roles have experienced the second highest growth at 14.66%, which is second only to personal care and service operations. In 2023, when we looked at all CS professions, the average salary now exceeds $100,000 in the United States. Over the past 3 years, the career that has seen the highest jump in salary is that of the computer and information researchers. We believe this may be due to the increased usage of AI in our world. While not all professions have experienced increased growth, data scientists and software developers have, and as of 2023, remain above the top half of jobs in the field of computer science. So then we took a deeper look into software developers versus data scientists, and generally speaking, the salaries of a developer is higher than that of a data scientist. In 2023, the average salary of a data scientist was only about $2,000 higher than that of a developer from 2021. We also wanted to look at regionality and the highest paying professions and noted that most of the best jobs are on the coast, specifically the East Coast. Lastly, we have an interactive heat map from Power BI that illustrates this further. We explored various job types and observed that most of the high salaries are along the coast, with a few exceptions like Texas, Colorado, Illinois, and Minnesota.
Our next question, how is job growth trending across different industries? Here's a chart that shows employment changes from 2021 to 2023 with percent change value. As you can see, office and admin positions have the highest employment count over the 3 years, but computer and math roles have experienced growth of 11.7%, which is the 5th highest across all career categories. This chart shows the top 10 job titles of 2023. We wanted to separate the data out by region to see where the most people are employed. So you can see that with the colors here. Most of the roles are in the customer service category. 2 are healthcare, but no tech jobs made it into the top 10. And this chart compares software development roles to data science roles. And as you can see, there are far more jobs in software development, but both have grown steadily over the past 3 years.
The final question is, looking at unemployment, is now a good time to job search? We thought that the state's level of unemployment was another factor worth considering, since a high level of unemployment might make it harder to find an opening regardless of pay levels. So for this question, we started looking at the unemployment data per state as compared with the overall national median. And as you can see, many states are below the median value of 3.21%, but several quite a bit higher. Focusing in a bit more on that, since our primary concern was how much one might expect to earn in a new career, we looked at the states with the top 5 median incomes in the computers and math segment of the industry, and then looked at the unemployment rates for those same 5 states, as you can see in the top 2 figures. And it's immediately clear that while Maryland's median income is around 10% lower than California's, its unemployment rate is less than half, suggesting that Maryland is probably a much better prospect for job seekers. Continuing along this line of investigation, we then took the 5 states with the lowest overall unemployment and then checked the median incomes in those states. Interestingly, Maryland fits on both sets of criteria, but New Hampshire and Vermont also offer strong incomes with low unemployment, and the Dakotas, despite being the lowest of the bunch, still offer a fairly strong median salary with very low unemployment. In addition, we looked at overall unemployment demographics for the past few years because we wanted to determine whether the current rate of unemployment is still high after the impact of COVID. And what we found, as is shown with this graph, is that while unemployment spiked severely during COVID, and more so for some demographics than others, by and large, unemployment has more or less returned to its pre-COVID levels. This suggests that now is as good a time as any to consider a career change. So, what are our final conclusions for the 3 questions that we asked? The first question about salary variation across industries and trends in computer science careers, we came to the realization that salaries across all industries are trending upwards, some more quickly than others. Computer science has the strongest growth among all job types, with software engineering being slightly better than data science. For the question about job growth trending across different industries, we found that is also trending upwards across all industries. Food preparation and serving had the highest growth rate at more than 18%, but computer science is still strong at almost 12%. And finally, looking at unemployment, is now a good time to search. Well, by the end of 2023, unemployment levels for all demographics have recovered to pre-COVID levels. But job seekers should take into account that different states experience substantially different levels of unemployment, which may affect your odds of landing a new job. The ideal locale might be one that has a blend of pretty good income with very low unemployment.
Thank you.
Thanks, our DataPie group. You had us all scared there, but I think that was pretty optimistic outlook in the end.
Yeah. We got there eventually.
Okay, whew. Okay, nice job. Congrats. That was really great. Two more groups up. We've got our last C# group, Frederick, Alexander, and Jan.
That's correct. That's
Yes.
Let me share my screen. And let us log in really quick as well. And Freddie's going to kick us off for our group.
So I was in a group with Jan and Alex. We created a car meetup app, which is a car event app for car enthusiasts if you like to talk about anything under the engine of a car. So first thing on this app, you have to definitely log in so that you're able to see the features available for you. It will list the list of events for you. We have pictures to go along with the event. Of course, the car event can be anywhere, you would like to visit to. One of the features there, you're able to sign up on the actual event list there, or you're able to go straight to view details and see the actual event by itself and sign up there as well. Another feature is once you sign up to the event, you'll be able to look into your own events that you've saved. We've created a feature to be able to save all the events that you actually sign up to, and you can also cancel from that event as well if you would like to no longer attend. We also have a make to where you can search for events specifically by vehicle. So if you're looking to go to some type of Porsche event, Ford event, BMW, it will filter out that event specifically for that type of car, and you can attend and sign up as well and add that along to your profile. And I will kick it over to Alex to let him give you a couple more details and features.
Sure thing. Thank you, Freddie. So this whole process when we this whole process when we were making this project was the first thing was first, which was finding the right API to use. And finding a car API, especially one that's like freebie or a freemium, definitely not the easiest part. And like first the idea was, okay, maybe we could make a car swap and we could use a VIN API, but then we decided we're just going to settle with a car event API like an Eventbrite for cars. And we decided to use a car API instead. And well, that was actually a lot easier because with utilizing that car API, we could actually go ahead and browse all the cars. Maybe you're a car enthusiast and you need to brush up on your knowledge because not everybody can remember every car under the sun. There's way too many of them. So we added this, and yes, the pictures don't match. We basically kind of use a random image generator. So yeah, a Toyota is definitely not a train track, but I mean, if you're willing. Oh, well, thank you, Justin. But yes, that's kind of our whole thought process. We had a whole lot of ideas and then we had to just narrow it down and well, I think we're satisfied. I'll take it over here back to Freddie.
A couple of more other features we had, like Alex was saying, we definitely wanted to do a lot more, but we utilized our time, what we had. So here with the car options, you can use the top home button if you would like to, the car lounge, it'll bring you right back to the home page of the event list. So if you have any issues getting lost on the page, you can always click there. As far as the car options, you can add cars. As you see, we created forms so that you're able to literally, and like Alex said, we're using a car API that actually pulls back the car as you type the information in from any vehicle, electric vehicles to older models of vehicles. You can also go to browse vehicles by actual make or model by themselves, which will show. And again, this will all filter to get you right to events that are listed, linked to those actual vehicles as well. And then from there, you have the managed cars. You can always update your car, or just like you can update your event, you can add things to your vehicle. Of course, we had other options. We wanted to be able to add like a gallery section to it, so where you're able to upload the picture of your own car. And other people upload pictures of their vehicles to the event as well. And that's a way that, everyone in the community can kind of build each other up, community, car enthusiasts, and everyone comes together in a way. But yeah, I'll kick it over to Jan so he can kind of close us out.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a lot of those features. We also integrated a third-party API that Alex mentioned earlier. The purpose of the API was to kind of help us get us some cars into our database when we were first starting out. Right here, what this page does, it essentially tells you all the car brands, or sorry, the car makes that we have in our database. As you can see, there's some dummy data, so there's a blank one. We got some string, we got tests. So right now, if you actually look at this, for example, there's nothing for Tesla, right? So if I add Tesla in here, we can search cars. It's going to take a second. It's going to add it. Sorry, I think I have to refresh. There's one little feature that we couldn't get to work. So, but now Tesla is available here, so, and if we actually look in the back end, as well. You could find it if it was linked to a specific event. So if we do decide to kind of create an event, we can just call it Tesla and just call it location Tesla as well. This a little form Tesla, and then I do believe that the one I just added, I'm going to switch over to my DB, cheat a little bit. So my Tesla is going to be car ID 1110. So if I add that one in there, I can create this event. And then if I search Tesla here, I should only have one event that I can sign up for. And now the Tesla event, which we just created, is part of this. I can also cancel the sign up if I wanted to. And this third-party API usually just adds about 4 cars per brand. So there's a lot of duplicates in there, depending on how many times we've hit that endpoint. One of the cool things that we had to implement for this, the API itself that we integrated sends us data via JSON string. I mean, just like most APIs usually, but we wanted to change the headers and kind of call the fields whatever we wanted to. So one of the cool things that we added to the backend itself, I'm just going to show this one little piece, is we took the model, we deserialized the JSON properties that came through, and we changed the naming convention to what we wanted. There's a lot of things, again, we wanted to add like a forum so you can chat with other car fanatics and whatnot. But due to time, we just didn't get to it. But overall, it was a really fun project to work on with the group. We had a lot of ups and downs, and we did it. And it was a really fun experience. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Let's give this group a round of applause. Thank you very much. All right. And last but not least, we have Martina, Warren, and Joey. Please take it away whenever you're ready.
Alrighty, Joey, if you want to start off the introductions.
Okay, so Satiety is an app that we built, and it looks like almost any other recipe building app. But what if you built an app from a user standpoint? By user standpoint, I mean, what if people have dietary restrictions? What if they are foods that they want to avoid? What if there's foods that they want to limit? Well, luckily we have a test case in this. And a couple of years ago, my stepson was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and mealtime didn't become just mealtime. Mealtime became reading the side of the boxes that say nutritional values and adding stuff up and doing calculations and to make sure that his blood glucose level would match after he ate. So this is what we created. And first of all, we've created a login, and a friend can log in here. And as you see, we can search, we can add recipes, we have your accounts, we have meet the teams. So what we're going to do today is we're going to add a recipe that we can save instead of, in my household, I have pieces of paper on the back of cupboards from favorite recipes. So let's make it all in one place. Let's make it to where a teenager can look this up. So today we're going to build tacos. And we're going to do, let's go 6 servings on this, Ren. And our first ingredient is going to be taco shells. So we have taco shells. We're going to make an amount of 6 shells. And we're going to add that ingredient. Our next ingredient is going to be hamburger. And we'll do let's see, we'll make it 95% lean ground beef. We'll make a healthier hamburger, and we'll do 1 pound of that. And then we're gonna do some lettuce.
I'm about to.
And we'll do a cup of lettuce. And then we're gonna do some shredded cheese. And we'll do a half a cup of shredded cheese. And then we'll do some sour cream on top. And let's do a half a cup of sour cream. And then we're going to create that recipe. Now, right here, we have our blood glucose that you see at the bottom. In the back end, it's going to do our calculations for us. There's calculations that we had to do by hand. And now that this is going to be in our app, this is going to be wonderful. So we'll start out with 200. 200 is pretty high for blood glucose. If you don't know, blood glucose should be between 80 and 120. So with the calculations, and there's a couple other calculations that are done on the back side, we're going to have to push 2.36 milliliters of insulin to dose for this food. So we can save this recipe. Every time we come into this recipe, we can put these calculations in, and it'll tell us what we need. Now, to stretch out, we want to do other stuff. Maybe people with Atkins diets, keto diets, heart healthy diets, low fat diets. There's a lot of ways that this app can go to help people based on a health first recipe that they can build. And with that, I'll either give it off to Martina or to Ren, because Ren has added some really cool features on the backside here.
Why don't we go to Martina first?
Okay, go ahead,
Yeah.
Martina.
I just wanted to say that as great as this project looks desktop, we rendered the project so it is dynamic on both desktop and mobile. So if you think it looks sexy on a desktop, it looks even better on a phone, and it makes it a lot more accessible, especially if you're on the go, or if you don't have your computer on hand, or if you're just away from any big clunk of electronics. So that was one of the biggest bits that we wanted to do, is that we wanted to create a resource that was available for everybody in any scenario.
Anything else, or should I continue?
Yeah, you can go ahead, Bren.
All right, so we have a couple other features. One of them is the ability to print recipes. If you look at it, it comes out all nice and clean. We also, of course, have multiple recipes attached to your account. You can sort them by name, calories, or carbs. You can also manually change the order of them by default. So let's say like tacos more than mac and cheese more than sludge. Do that, save changes, and then it'll stay in that order every time. You can also delete recipes you don't want. So if I don't want sludge anymore, I can just get rid of it, and it's gone.
And isn't in recipes you can hit an info button to
That's
look.
right.
Yep,
Yeah.
you can look into, and it'll tell you exactly all the information on that ingredient.
You can also search for individual ingredients that aren't part of a recipe. Tomato.
And of course, you can adjust your, if you have diabetes, you can adjust your settings in here. And I think that's everything. Did I forget anything?
I think something to highlight is one of our major stretch goals was having an intolerance filter. So there's a lot of avenues that we could go to with this website. There's a lot of implementations that we can continue working on. Having an intolerance filter that gives you recipes based on that, or having a diet specific, because right now our key implementation is for diabetes. But yeah, there's a lot of working things that we can add to this existing project, and that's something that I think all three of us are really excited about.
And if anybody didn't know, satiety is the condition of being full beyond satisfaction from a food point of view. And my heart is full beyond satisfaction building this project with these two wonderful people, because this was something that was real personal to me.
All right, great job. Let's give this group a round of applause. Thank you very much. All right, with that being said, that would be everyone presenting. So, Billy, any final words for us?
Yeah, what a way to close this out. Great projects, everyone. All killer, no filler. You all turned it out. That was really great. The YouTube channel was popping off. Your friends and family were definitely watching you at home. So congrats, go celebrate, give yourself a pat on the back. Just want you to know that all of your Slack channels aren't going anywhere. We're not kicking you out of the LMS. We're not doing anything like that. You're still connected with all your career services resources. We are not going anywhere on our end. So, stay in touch, everybody. Congrats. Be proud of yourself. We sure are. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, Levi.
Bye.